诸位至诚，礼佛行三问讯。三声佛号：南无本师释迦牟尼佛。
南无本师释迦牟尼佛。
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 Please be seated. Good evening, brothers and sisters. How are you all today? Good. So, last week we went through the last few of the universally active mental concomitants. 作意受想师。Did I give you all any exercise to do?
No.
Oh, so sure then. But did you all, in the past week, did you all observe? Yes, I saw that. Yeah. Did you all observe these 5 mental concomitants? Did you all observe them? Of how at various stages each and every one of these would arise as we come into contact with this world. Different circumstances, different time, different situation, through the senses, with the sense object together, giving rise to consciousness. The 3 coming together, then we call that contact. Only when the 3 come together, then do we call it contact. If only 2 are together, sense object and sense base, but the mind is not active. If the mind is not active, then there's no consciousness. If there's no mind active, no consciousness, then is there awareness of what is happening? No awareness. Still no awareness. So this contact refers to the start of interaction with the world, the start of this interaction. So 2, when these 3 come together. Then from there, if the mind further give attention to it, 作意, give attention to it. Then from there, then arises the different kind of sensations, whether it's bodily or mental sensation or feelings. Give rise to painful, pleasant, neither painful nor pleasant feelings. The different kind of feelings. So, and as I've mentioned from feelings to perception and then further thinking or rumination, it is not necessarily a straight line. Okay, it's not necessarily a straight line. From feelings, then to perceptions, it doesn't always go straight into thinking, or deep, a lot of thinking. It may go back to have more feelings, back and forth, until it culminates in the very deep-seated rumination that results in intention. Results in intention. You see something, you have an experience of it, whether it's a painful, pleasant, neither painful nor pleasant experience. And from painful experiences may give rise to aversion, dislike. From pleasant experiences give rise to delight, liking, desire, craving. Unpleasant, painful ones, they also give rise to craving, but a different kind of craving. Craving for it to end. Craving not to be in contact again. Pleasant ones, also craving, but craving for it to arise, craving for it to endure, to continue. So different types of craving. Neither painful nor pleasant, we are oblivious to it. And we quite instinctively think that it's going to just be like that. We pray for it to persist as well. So if this goes on quite a bit, it may culminate in the point where we say, not just craving for it to arise, but I must do something for it to arise. Not just craving for it to endure and to lengthen, but I must do something to lengthen it. Not just craving for it not to arise, but I must do something for it not to arise. Painful experiences that have already arisen, not just enough to crave for it to end, but I must do something to make it end. So this is the last part, where it gives rise to a very clear decision of action to do something about it. So all this are subsumed under the first category of 遍行心所, what we call universally active mental concomitants. Universally active mental concomitants. Yes. Yes. So, good question. So for the neither painful nor pleasant experience, we tend to ignore it, we tend to be oblivious of it. How do we overcome this? In the Buddhist tradition, we have this very popular practice nowadays called mindfulness. But most people, when we come to Buddhism, we want to learn mindfulness, we want to learn the Dharma to overcome painful experiences. So we always think in terms of our pain and suffering. People come for meditation classes hoping to overcome stress. Good reason, it's a good reason. I must observe my stress. I must observe how it arises. your question is very good. And it's all linked together. You see, if we only want to observe anger, stress, anxiety, depression, and so on, if you only want to observe that, or if you only want to resolve these negative emotions, the tendency is that we will only look out for those negative emotions. But when things are going well, we are not mindful. So we Then when things are neither painful nor pleasant, we also ignore. So this is the first thing to realize. Yeah, the area that we apply our mindfulness or awareness, even to the point of applying the teachings, we tend to just apply on the negative emotions such as anger, anxiety, stress, depression, and so on. Yeah. So it's only one aspect of it. Yeah. Yes. So to counter it, then we must learn to observe the neither painful nor pleasant. We must learn to observe the pleasant as well. We must learn to observe the painful experiences. In other words, we must observe the continuity, the continuum. If we observe in this way, then we will observe how the neither painful nor pleasant is not stable as well. You observe that now it's neither painful nor pleasant, but by itself, if you observe for a while, then that feeling also changes. It changes quite quickly, suddenly becomes painful. But that painfulness is also unstable. Suddenly it's not painful as well. It's neither painful nor pleasant. Then suddenly there's pleasant feelings. When we say observe the arising of suffering, you need to observe the non-suffering part as well. Otherwise, you cannot observe that ingredient. The reason why most people don't observe the arising of anger, the arising of suffering, is because we only want to observe suffering. We only want to observe anger. So that is a good question. And the antidote is to train ourselves to just observe, go and observe. But how to start? Start with the breath. When you observe the breath, usually it should be neither painful nor pleasant, usually, for a start. After a while, when your mind becomes somewhat quiet, you may find that observing the breath is quite pleasant. Yeah. But there are moments where it's very dull also, just breathing in, breathing out, nothing much happening. Nothing much happening. Yeah. If you cannot, let's not say you cannot, you can. And it's a matter of just putting effort to observing it. Initially, we can't observe for long. Yeah. So, let's say while you're sitting there here attending class, then halfway through maybe you daydream. But don't waste the time daydreaming. Yeah. Since you're going to daydream, then observe the breath. Yeah. Or before the class starts, then just sit there and just don't try too hard to go into a deep meditative state. Just sit there and just observe. Yeah? And you don't even have to observe the breath, because it's not just the breath that is neither painful nor pleasant. Try now. Observe your feet on the ground. Can you feel the contact? And just ask yourself these two simple questions. Is it painful? Is it pleasant? If it's not painful, not pleasant, then that what do you call that? Neither painful nor pleasant. It's that simple. Yeah. In fact, as a human being, if you are healthy, most of our contact usually falls under neither painful nor pleasant. And then occasionally you experience a bit of pleasantness. Then occasionally you experience a bit of pain. human realm, that's our karmic fruit, our vipaka. But if you are in the lower realms, most of the time is painful experiences, occasionally pleasant, very occasion, then usually it's unpleasant or painful, then occasionally neither painful nor neutral, then very rarely pleasant a bit. For heavenly realms, taking an aggregate, it is by default pleasant. Just pleasant. Very occasionally, neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Then towards the end, about to die, okay, painful experiences. So our human realm is described as being very conducive for cultivation. Yeah. Why? Because very dull. Yeah. That's why we need to build more shopping mall, and we need to have a giant Ferris wheel, and then once a year, September, have F1 racing. Then people feel more alive, you know. Sometimes when I fall sick, or sometimes when I injure myself, then I observe the pain. And then I'm like, wow, I feel alive today. I can feel the throbbing. Oh, yeah. I'm not masochistic, but I mean, okay, you don't. It's not every day that you hurt yourself, no. So when you do hurt yourself, don't go and hurt yourself just to experience it, okay? Yeah. But if you really hurt yourself and you cannot avoid it anyway, might as well make use of it as a way to, go and observe. Yeah. So for me, when I sometimes fall sick, like recently had this crazy stomach flu, so I was like, wow. I was observing how so much bloatedness, and the moment I lie down, I feel like everything coming out, Incidentally, recently I counseled this person who had some very bad issue with his business, and so he told me that when he was overseas in that country, there was one whole month after coming back, things were going so bad. When he came back, for one whole month he was always having restless nights. He'll wake up in the middle of the night in sweat, and then heartburn and things like that. In my whole life, I don't really recall experiencing heartburn or anything, So when I recently had that, I was like, oh, maybe that's how he felt, huh? Oh, so no wonder it's so bad, that he is so, and it's for one whole month, every other night, it's like that. So I was like, wow, this is a good experience. Now I understand how, not for the most part.
You sure you don't exercise?
Yeah, because I first experienced headache once, the first time in my life when I was in my 20s. Yeah, and after that, it's many years later that I experienced another time. Yeah, so likewise after that. So I was like, wow, this is how he felt. Oh, then the next time I meet him once a week. So when I meet him again, I'm like, wow, now I can say that I sort of understand what you're going through. But sidetrack. So your passion, to how to overcome that, the ignorance that arise, go and observe it. Yeah. But don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set yourself up for failure in the sense that don't give yourself undue expectation that you must observe every single neither painful nor pleasant. Because for a start, we're not used to observing it. So just pick and choose a few moments in a day, like what I just mentioned. Now, after talking, are you aware of the sensation of your leg on the ground? Yeah. Now that I mentioned, you're aware again. Yeah. But from the last moment until now, we again ignore it. That's normal because it doesn't draw our attention. Instead, if any of you are having a headache or migraine, then you don't need Sifu to remind you, hey, do you pay attention to your migraine? Do you pay attention to your headache? You don't need. Your headache is down here. I'm here for the whole day, isn't it? Yeah, so don't beat yourself over it. Yeah, just try to observe it here and there for a start. Gradually you become more aware, okay, this category do exist. Yeah, and this category of feelings has these qualities, if you will. Yeah, and to realize that we have this tendency to just filter it away. Yeah, then as you observe it over time, you may find that it becomes easier to observe. You may find that it becomes not so strenuous to observe. Yeah, as you asked before, wouldn't it be very tough? Whole day must no. Let it come naturally. Slowly build up your frequency. So, no? Yeah, so this is the 5 universally active mental concomitants. There are altogether 6 different categories. Yeah, this is we go on to the second category. 别境心所. Dependent on situation. Yeah, let me refer you to the reference again. So if you refer to the earlier reference, then we have either specific, yeah, you can call it specific. Yeah, that means specific to the different situation. Yeah. So, 别境, specific. In this category, there's again 5. 欲圣解念定慧. You have this copy, right? Okay. Huh? No. No, this was given out in the first week. Yes, huh? So, 别境心所. Those mental concomitants specific to different scenarios or situations. 欲等5个心所. So here 欲等, desire, etc. Yeah. What are the etc.? Basically, this desire, 圣解, supreme understanding, 念, mindfulness, 定, concentration, 慧, wisdom. Yeah, so 欲等 referring to these 5. Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to just use the word desire here first. Yeah. Desire, etc. These 5 mental concomitants. 愿个别的境象而升起，所以称为别境。So each of these, they have specific situation or specific objects, if you will, yeah, as their focus, yeah, or as their counterpart, yeah, then they arise. Yeah. And as a result, they are considered as specific mental concomitants. Specific in terms of the object that they relate to. Yeah. So further, 这5个别境心所，不像遍行无法，周遍行于一切境。Yeah, so these 5 mental concomitants that are specific, they are not like the earlier one. They are not like the universally active mental concomitants. The universally active concomitants, they are active throughout. Yeah, they are active throughout. This category, no. 只能对个别的所乐境、决定境、珍惜境及所观境而做其作用。而起作用. Yeah, so these 5, they each correspond to different kind of situation. And then they arise. Okay? The first one is 所乐境, the delightful situation. 决定境, decisive. I'm going to just use decisive. Later we'll go through the elaboration. Yeah? Decisive situation. 珍惜境, repetitive or conducive for repetition or habituation, yeah, kind of situation. 及所观境, yeah, the situation where you are observing. Okay, so there are these differences. 但这无法, but these 5 Dharma, that means these 5 categories, yeah, or these 5 different mental concomitants, 不是绝对不能具时升起, yeah, but they are not definitely individually arising, yeah, no, yeah, they can arise with other things also. 有时不具，有时亦具. Sometimes they may not arise with others. Sometimes they may arise with others, not always by themselves. Okay. So the first one, yu. In the listing here, the word is chanda. Yeah, the word is chanda. Now this is quite interesting. I will mention this in a while. So yu usually refers to desire, and in the Buddhist tradition, usually in a negative connotation. But the word chanda, this one is a bit interesting, because chanda is usually used in the positive light. Not instead of tanha, is chanda. Yeah, slight difference, but crucial difference. Let's see. 于所乐境，希望为性，情意为业。This situation or circumstances that is delightful, yeah, pleasant, 所乐于所乐境. Yeah, with respect to such a situation, such circumstances. 希望为性, yeah, it causes one to have a longing, if you will, yeah, a want, yeah, in a way, yeah, a want. If it's not a pleasant one, situation, would you have that kind of longing? Typically no, unless it's a masochist. Here we're not talking about masochist. 情意为业. Yeah, this has a function of becoming the condition for energy, okay, for effort. Just a generic example, may not be specific to this, okay? For whatever kind of situation that gives you some form of pleasure, Yeah? If it's enough pleasure, then that will become the primary cause for you to put in energy and effort to pursue it. So, this desire, the function of the desire is it becomes the source, the source on which your effort relies on. 情意为也. This is the function of desire. What it's basically saying is, to the thing that you have desire for, that is delightful, then that desire becomes the motivation for you to put in effort. That's what it's saying. That's what it's saying. So, 于一切事, with respect to all matters, 凡是欲观察的，存有希望便有欲生。凡是欲观察的, so that whatever with regards to all matters, as long as it is observed with desire, is desirable, 存有希望, so then and it contains longing, 便有欲生, then desire arises. Then desire arises. 若不欲观察, if you do not observe with desire, 心随境任运升起，就完全无有欲了。So without observing with desire, then no further desire will arise. As you observe, then you just pass away. There's no further wow, that impetus, that kind of motivation, etc. 欲通三性, so this 三性, the three natures. What are the three natures? Can you all remember? Have we covered? We have covered. Can you remember? No? The three natures. What are the three natures? Let me give you a clue. The first one is wholesome. 善, then 恶, then 无记. Wholesome, unwholesome, neither wholesome nor unwholesome. 欲通三性. So permeating all three natures, regardless of whether the object, the circumstances is wholesome or unwholesome, neither wholesome or unwholesome, desire can arise. 若善法欲, 能发正情. So here, it's very interesting because this line here, as I mentioned, remember I mentioned earlier, the word chanda, usually referring to wholesome aspect, the positive aspect. So 若善法欲, 能发正情. So if it is desire for wholesome dharma, okay, for Buddha dharma for example, desire for charity, desire for learning and practice of precepts, samadhi, and wisdom. If there's desire in this way, then 能发正情, then it can give rise to right effort. Right effort. What is right effort? This should be year one course. Maybe year two, but should be year one. Four Noble Truth. When is Four Noble Truth taught? Year one. Noble Eightfold Path? Year one, yes. So part of the Noble Eightfold Path, or what I call Enlightened Eightfold Path, 八正道, okay? 八正道 is covered in the first year, right? So 四圣谛八正道, 第四圣谛道谛, 道谛, the truth of the way to end suffering. So in this Noble Eightfold Path, there are altogether 8 right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Yeah? Can memorize? Yes, some of you smiling, yes. Don't worry if you can. How many of you cannot memorize? Raise your hand. Wow, more and more raising your hand. It's okay. Many years ago, I brought a friend, when I was a lay person, I brought a friend to attend the Dharma class. And then at the end, towards the end of the module, there was a test. And one of the questions was, list down, just list, no, never ask you to explain. Just write down the Noble Eightfold Path. So I wrote. Yeah, didn't get it wrong. Then it turned out that because the first two of the Noble Eightfold Path, there are different translations. And the person who was conducting the class insists that it must be one of the translations. Right view. Some translation put down right understanding. Right intention, some translation, right thought. Yeah. Because I learned both sides, so for me, if you put any of them, it's correct. Yeah. But to me, if you look at both, right view and right understanding together is more complete. Right intention and right thought together is more complete. In fact, in the Chinese tradition, they have these two translations. Yeah, they have these two translations. For example, the right intention, they have 正智, 正思维, both are correct. 正智 and 正思维. Yeah. 正智, not so commonly heard, but it's inside the sutra. 智. I better write somewhere else. 正智, 志向的志, 正智. Then 正思维. Yeah, so there are these two different translations. But here, we are not talking about this. Today, here, just now we are talking about how desire, if it's directed towards wholesome Dharma, what does that mean? That means you look upon wholesome Dharma as pleasant. Now, you must remember, just because it's wholesome Dharma, you must look upon it as pleasant. Then it will give rise to right effort. If you don't see the benefit of the Dharma, even if it's the Buddha sitting here giving you teachings, there are a lot of people who may not still have the effort to want to move towards the teachings. No right effort. Yeah, so not just wholesome Dharma by itself, but that you must incline towards the wholesome Dharma. If you incline towards the wholesome Dharma and then have that desire, yeah, but to have that desire, not completely covered here, I'm going slightly beyond the words here. To have desire for something, you must go and know the benefits of it. You must go and learn about its benefits. How to learn about the benefits of wholesome Dharma? Read Sutra. The Buddha described all the benefits. Yeah? Tell you about the benefits of attaining enlightenment. You can go and look at Samyutta Nikaya. There's a whole section on the, I think is immeasurable. You can go and Google, search for the word immeasurable under Samyutta, yeah, or the word infinite. So in this series of sutra, the Buddha described a lot of things which are very large in volume, very large number. And one of them was, the Buddha described, he just used his finger, dig up some sand, and he asked, is there more sand here than the sand, which is more, the sand on my finger or the sand in Ganges River? Of course, Ganges River has more sand, isn't it? Yeah. Then the Buddha said, the amount, when a person reaches Sotapanna, the amount of suffering he has to go through versus the amount of suffering he put to an end, yeah, it is like comparing the sand in the fingertip versus the sand in Ganges River. When you reach Sotapanna, at the amount of more suffering you have to go through, you still have to go through because still 7 more life. But that amount of suffering is like the sand in the fingertip, just a bit more. How much do you put aside? Like the Ganges River. Why? Because Ganges River. Why Ganges River? Because if you don't put an end to your cycle, no end. No end. On and on. Yeah. Yeah. Someone considering how the flat HDB is rising, and then everything costs. So better quickly attain enlightenment. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? And climate warming some more. Who knows? Maybe in future, when we all attain enlightenment, then when you look back, well, who knows? Maybe those ministers, well, they are bodhisattva. Singapore is so good. Make it more difficult. You still don't get enlightened. Don't know. Hard to say. But anyway. So here, if you have wholesome Dharma as your object, if you learn about the teachings, for example what I just described, in this way, then you see the benefit of enlightenment. On the reverse, the Buddha described the downfall, the shortcomings, the faults and danger of being in samsara. For us as a human being, only when there is some crisis, then we feel, I must practice. Yeah. So SARS, everybody want to come to the temple. Tsunami, better come for puja. After 3 months, Sifu, sorry, I need to go for some tour. Yeah. Then suddenly, H1N1. Sifu, when is the next retreat? You need to have a retreat. Then kind of pray and chant, But then after a while, okay, sorry, Sifu, June holiday, we need to go for holiday. So here, if you can learn the Dharma in this way, then the desire that arises can become the basis for right effort. Yeah, 能发正情. This is the usual usage of the word chanda, as compared to tanha. Okay, tanha is usually translated as desire or craving, usually craving, tanha. That is almost always with respect to negative worldly things. Hang on. 从而铸成一切善事，所以说勤一为业。So, 从而铸成一切善事，所以说勤一为业。Yeah. So, with that as a basis, then this aspect of desire, okay, this aspect of desire give rise to all wholesome things. Yeah, give rise to all wholesome things. Yeah, and it is the basis for effort. But take note, desire permeates all 3 types, all 3 nature: wholesome, unwholesome, and neither wholesome nor unwholesome. I must highlight something here. I believe there is a vernacular issue here, semantics issue. That means the problem with translation, because the original word is chanda, but in Chinese we translate as one word, yu. When it's The 5 hindrances, yeah, raga also translated as yu, yeah, raga, also translated in that way. Raga is lust, also translated as yu. Then, in terms of the word tanha, the English translated as craving, but can be translated as desire also. Yeah, the English word desire.
Can you write down?
Huh? Which word?
Raga, which one?
Raga, R-A-G-A.
Oh.
Raga. Yeah, so.
It's the hamsat,
Yeah, that kind. Sensual desire.
not the kind of.
Sensual desire, basically. But it covers all types. So, but in the original word, there are different words. But translated in English and Chinese become one word. Yeah, so here in this case, it should be just specific to the wholesome part. Yeah, because the original word is chanda, so it should be limited to the wholesome aspect. However, here it is this one, yu, is the all-encompassing word. Yeah. So when you talk about, instead of being stuck with the word yu, chanda, whatever, let's first understand. When we say you have a longing, wanting of something, yeah, this covers whether it's wholesome, unwholesome, you also can have that want. Yeah, neither wholesome nor unwholesome, you may also have that want. Okay, that's another thing altogether. But in this case, this particular yu, okay, there's one specific case which is chanda. Chanda refers to when the desire is directed towards wholesome object, wholesomeness. Then you call it chanda. Yes. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That the word yu, I'm clarifying. Yeah.
This is the part you're trying to.
Yeah, because otherwise then yu tong san xing. Yeah. But here, so the word yu itself covers all different nature. Yeah. But here is specifically zooming into wholesome dharma. And the reason why there's this highlight is, as I've highlighted right at the start, because the word chanda typically refers to wholesome object, wholesome desire, if you will. Okay. So this is one of the mental concomitant, which is specific. Yeah, which is specific. You had a question. So, if the object is wrong teaching, is it still considered chanda? He thinks there is. In this case, I personally would still call it not chanda. I would not call it chanda. From his point of view, he may think that this is chanda. But because you are saying that objectively is actually a wrong teaching. So I wouldn't call it chanda. Because it's directed towards something that is not truly wholesome. Yeah. I think my face produces butter. Quite amazing. I think I can start a factory and produce butter. So better wash it. Yeah, I tell you a joke. There was once I attended a class, then I took the towel and I about to wipe. Oh, I can smell cao sheng, you know. Really cao sheng. Then I look at it, oh, really cao sheng. This one is clean. So I open up. Then the whole towel is dirty. So I'm like, hey, come on, no QC. But this one is clean. Yeah, this one, you look at this side is clean. This side is clean, right? This side. That's why I said I can produce butter. You see? Yeah, I don't know what I did. So if you want to practice the contemplation of fouliness of the body, capture this image. See how dirty it is. From far, I cannot tell, right? Wow, still like someone even commented last time saying, "Wow, Sifu, your complexion very good, Bullshit inside." So, 圣洁, supreme understanding. This is our translation. The one that you have, that I sent to you, they translate as confident resolve. Yeah, we translate it literally as supreme understanding. 欲决定境，应持为性，不可盈转为业。This one is interesting. So, with respect to a situation or circumstances that has certainty, we'll look at what is so certain about it. 应持为性, so it leaves a strong impression. Yeah, it has it gives you that certainty. Yeah, 不可盈转为业. And what is the function when you are faced with such a situation or such a object? Yeah, as your focus, if you will. It causes you to not be easily swayed. When you have so-called grasped onto this, accepted this, yeah, for example, a teaching, for example, an idea, yeah, that gives you that certainty, then we are very sure. When you are faced with something like that and you accept it, then what happens? It has the function to cause you to be unshakable, to have faith, in other words, to have certainty. Yeah? But you take a look at the text, don't be so happy. First of all, 既有邪教、邪理、邪正等力. First of all, through evil teaching, evil principle, evil achievement or attainment, all this, etc., as a impetus, yeah, as an impetus, as your pushing driving force, okay, as your driving force. So this is the first category. Yeah, evil teaching, evil principles, yeah, or evil, maybe you can say 邪教 refers to evil evil group or evil religion. Yeah. Yeah, you can say cult. And then the teachings inside. Yeah, 邪理 can be the teachings inside. Then the wrong or evil attainments. Yeah. Through these three categories, etc. What is this three, etc.? It's basically within a belief system or a group. Yeah, they have the group itself, the teachings that they abide by, and then the practice and attainment. Yeah, inside you join this group and the group tell you, wow, hey, wow, really, no? I went there, then, wow, I do this, do that, then, wow, then I burn this and do that, then, wow, my lung becomes smaller, or something. But here is referring to the whole group that is guided by wrong view, by evil thinking. Yeah. We'll later explore what they mean by evil. Okay, but here just take it that, okay, one group is evil. Yeah. Or 有正教正理正正等力. Yeah. Or you are driven by a different group. This group is the true Dharma. The first group, as opposed to this second group, that one is false Dharma, evil teachings, wrong view, evil view. This second group, right view, and so on. Okay? So these two different opposing one. 或非邪非正的教，理正所原理。So or a third category, neither right teaching nor wrong teaching. Yeah. So let me give you an example, okay? So for example, the Go Green movement. It has nothing to do with spirituality. So it's neither good nor bad as far as spirituality is concerned. There are those within like religious practices that is totally distortion. Yeah. Then there are those religious teaching that is in line with reality. Then there are those that is outside of these two categories, like worldly teachings, for example. Yeah, may not be about distorting the truth, but it doesn't lead to enlightenment also.
So always for spiritual point of view.
Yes. Okay. 与所取的镜像 yeah, with respect to that which you grasp onto, that you obtain. 省却应可，奢侈该是 yeah, 省却应可 so very thoroughly 省觉 应可 very thoroughly you go through it, very thoroughly you decide, and then through this 省觉 very thorough determination, you decided, this is correct. 应可 you affirm, yeah, and then you accept. Well, then this is not just hearsay, no. Well, you go through thoroughly and somehow you agree. Whether it's evil teaching, the right teaching, or neither evil nor right teaching. Yeah. For various reasons, sometimes we hear it, it seems to make sense. Yeah. Through very thorough determination, you go through, you thinking, it makes sense. Yeah. Then you accept. 奢侈 Here 省觉应可 so this 应 to some degree you must experience it. May not be the full, like for example in the Dharma, may not be like attain enlightenment yet, but at least must have experience to some degree. Otherwise you cannot say 应可. Because the word 应 usually that you have already affirmed it to a certain degree. Okay? 奢侈该是 yeah, so and through that you encompass the subject matter. Yeah, the subject matter. 如说此目是目 非实等. Yeah. So this is an analogy. This when they say that this is wood, indeed this is wood and not stone. This is just an example. Okay, not that the teaching is talking about stone and wood, but it's just using this as an example. If the teaching says that it is wood, you verify it is really wood and not stone. Yeah. Similarly, in Buddhism, the Buddha declared the Four Noble Truths, the truth of suffering. You must go and verify. Suffering is indeed suffering, not otherwise. Suffering is not happiness. Suffering is suffering. The first Noble Truth is about what is suffering. What do we suffer over? And in our daily life, we must go and verify, affirm thoroughly. Yeah. Here it says, when you do that, then you encompass it, and you affirm that 如说此木是木，而非实等. So, to what degree? To this degree. You must at least be able to verify to this degree. Okay? 由此圣解. So, through this supreme understanding. So, supreme understanding refers to, with respect to any teachings, you must be able to affirm what is being taught. If the teaching says this is wood, you must be able to verify that it is wood. And again, as I said, this is an example. Yeah. In the case of Buddhism, the Buddha declared, Sabbe Sankara Anichati, all compounded things are impermanent. You must be able to verify, yes, all compounded things are impermanent. The Buddha declared, birth is suffering. You must be able to observe how birth is suffering. Verify that birth is indeed suffering, not happy birthday. Suffering birthday. Jialat, no wonder none of us is enlightened now. Every year, happy birthday. Yeah. But we should continue saying happy birthday, isn't it? Otherwise your children will all be so sad. But after saying happy birthday, next time you should remind them, son, do you know why we have to sing happy birthday? Because birth is suffering. If birth is happy, you don't need to sing happy birthday. Makes sense or not? Well, makes sense, isn't it? Yeah? Because birth is suffering, that's why you need to sing happy birthday. But that's not the real reason why birth is suffering, okay? We say that birth is suffering because from birth give rise to aging, sickness and death. Give rise to separation from loved one. Give rise to contact with unpleasant one. Give rise to not getting what one wants. Can give rise to all this. Yeah? And so based on that, we say birth is a cause for all this to arise. If birth is the cause, primary cause and condition for these various types of suffering to arise, then its nature cannot be far from suffering. I repeat, birth gives rise to aging, sickness and death, separation and contact and so on. All the remaining ones, we can all agree it is suffering. Yeah? Usually when we learn about the 8 types of suffering, we say birth is suffering because, when you are in the body of in the womb, it's very tight, so it's suffering. When you are going through the birth canal, it's very painful, so it's suffering. Yeah? In some commentaries it says that. But in the sutta, the Buddha gives a very direct explanation. He says, birth gives rise to suffering, to all those which is suffering. In which case then birth, its nature, is not far from suffering. Cannot be that of pleasure, of happiness. On this basis, we say that birth is suffering. But is birth, die going to be suffering? No, as well it's not. Why? Because aging, sickness and death is not die suffering. wow, Sifu, you go against the Buddha's teaching. Because if that is the case, then did the Buddha grow old?
Yes.
Then did he suffer?
Yes.
He suffered when he grew old? You sure or not? When he attained enlightenment, he was a young man. King Bimbisara, King Pasinaji commented, you are still, wow, how audacious you are to claim that you are awakened. You are still with black hair. There are so many masters who are all with white hair and they don't claim to be awakened. Huh? How audacious. So he was young when he was enlightened, 35 years old, by any standard, still young. And gradually he grew old. Did he continue to be young, like 35 years old when he passed away? No, he grew old. But did he suffer? Yeah. Either yes or no, very simple, don't have to argue, okay? If we say yes, well, he experienced aging, sickness and death. He experienced it. We don't say that he never experienced it. He experienced it. But did he suffer over it?
No.
If he suffer over it, then 不称如来。yeah. 若如来受老病死而得苦，不名如来。If Buddha go experience this and then suffer because of it, then lucky worse than some of us. Then why is he called the Buddha? So he experienced aging, sickness and death, but he didn't suffer because of it, not a shred. But it's not as though he don't know, no. Headache. Buddha got headache or not? Don't know? No feeling? No, it's not that. It's no feeling, no. He actually commented about his backache, but he don't suffer because of it. That's the difference. Is it possible? It's possible. It's just like, how many of you had your dinner? Or how many of you didn't have your dinner? Are you all suffering? Do you know that you didn't have dinner? How many of you are hungry? Have dinner or not?
Yes.
Have dinner still hungry? How many of you have experienced hunger in the past 1 year? I'm sure, right? Sometimes OT or whatever, you know, or you go for Chinese wedding dinner, wait forever, then suddenly give you a lot of food. So, when that happens, you do experience hunger, isn't it? But do you suffer? Not necessarily, isn't it? In the same way, the Buddha didn't experience aging, sickness and death, but he don't suffer as a result. Why? Because he's not attached to the body or the feelings that arise from the body. For us, we are attached to the feeling, the bodily sensation. Wow, very important. This is me experiencing it. Yeah, mental feeling. Wow, a bit of stress. Wow, this is so important. Yeah, wow, a bit of headache. Wow, so important. Yeah, a bit of anxiety. Wow, so important. I'm so anxious now. Wow, what must I do? What must I do? Not to laugh at any of you who is experiencing this, okay? But we can start somewhere, and you must start somewhere. We cannot say from where we are suddenly want to be like the Buddha or free of suffering. Cannot. But you must start somewhere. You must start where you are suffering. Go and observe, as our sister asked. Yeah, Eva, is it? Yeah. As Eva, finally I remember her name. Start observing the neither painful nor pleasant feelings. Then you have a chance to observe the arising of the different feelings. And as you observe the arising of painful feelings, observe the arising of pleasant feelings, learn to observe it intently. And learn to observe it just observing it and not go and respond towards it. Don't start with the major pain, no? Yeah? Don't wait until you got severe migraine, I must go and meditate. Come on. Are you kidding? If you have not been meditating all this while, yeah, never chant Buddha's name all this while, then when you have severe migraine, Sifu, I tried, cannot work. Of course cannot work. Yeah, it's like what we tell our children. Don't wait until the final exams, then you study. You must study every day. Not because there's exams every day, but every day you must study. Then you build up your understanding, your ability. And if you can do that, then one day you can experience the whole spectrum of feelings without being affected by it so strongly for a start. Then you have the confidence, yes, the Buddha can do that. Then you will have the confidence that yes, indeed it is possible to experience birth and then go through aging, sickness and death and all the tribulations of life, but don't suffer because of that. Then you have that confidence. Physical pain, not physical suffering. Suffering is always describing how we respond to it. He experienced physical pain. Pain, yes, but not suffer because of it. No? No, why? What? Well, we don't have counterfactual. We don't have counterfactual for whether the Buddha suffered, whether the Buddha will suffer if he has a large tumor, because he never have. But we also know that he experienced back pain, and most would agree that he basically died of food poisoning. Yeah, but from the Buddhist point of view, we say that he has resigned the life force already. That's why it can happen. If he do not want it to happen, he can basically overcome it is said lah. Okay, I haven't reached the point where I can verify. Yeah, but so I can only say it is said. Okay, must be careful. So it is said that if he wants, yeah, if someone were to ask him, who asked you all never to ask, then Venerable Ananda also never asked. So if someone at that point in time were to ask him, yeah, because he gave a lot of hints that he has finished his duty already, nothing left to do. If someone come and say, I still need your help, then out of compassion, then that is the cause, that is the condition required for Tathagata to continue. Yeah. Why? Because Tathagata, the enlightened ones, stage 10 Bodhisattva, they have no more desire to hang around and party or what. So the only reason why they appear, the very existence of their body is to serve. The whole idea is just so amazing, you know. So it's so altruistic. They exist for one and one purpose: to serve, to enlighten. No other reason. So once that is done, so he keep on, and in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, he highlighted. Did you all go through this sutra in the Dhamma class here? Yes, no. Yes or no? How many no? How many yes? Only Wilson. So anyway, you all can go and read. Digha Nikaya, number I think 16. I think it's 16. Yeah, you all can go and read Digha Nikaya number 16, Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Yeah. When Venerable Ananda realized that the Buddha has already resigned his life force, he experienced an earthquake. Yeah, then he said, oh, the Buddha has mentioned there are these few reasons, only 8 reasons or something. Then he went through the checklist. Oh, there's only one checklist that fit the condition. The Buddha has given up the life force. He quickly went to see the Buddha. may the Tathagata stay on for another period. Then the Buddha, now is not the time.
Anyone get injured during that earthquake?
Never record.
Because it's like that for a lot of those like saints.
Yeah, and maybe it's just a rumble, you know. Maybe just a rumble. Yeah, not a major 8.0.
Also got tremors.
That one is non-canonical. But the point is, then the Buddha highlighted, after he asked for two times or three times, then the Buddha said, do not ask this of the Tathagata now. Now is not the time. The Buddha, when he want to be firm, he can be very, And he said, the Tathagata through many ways have highlighted to you. Then he mentioned, in voucher's peak, didn't the Tathagata highlighted, in this world, there are, I think, two individuals who can do this. Yeah, that if anybody asks a Tathagata or those who have reached certain spiritual attainment, request for them to stay on, they can stay on for another time period. But nobody asked. You didn't, Aeon? Yeah. The common translation is Aeon, but I use a time period because there are some debates about whether it's an Aeon or like another 100 years. Because there are those who say, if the Buddha can stay on for an Aeon, that would be exceeding human lifespan by so long. So that phrase itself, whether it should be translated as an Aeon or a period of time that is consummate to a human lifespan, is questionable. Because the Buddhas are said to not do things that are too 奇怪, too weird. Then the Buddha went through a lot of different examples. When the Tathagata was in this Kosala, he highlighted it. Nobody said. In this town, nobody said. I'll go through all those cases. So the Buddha is able to do that. The Buddha goes through the whole process, but he didn't suffer because of that. Aging, sickness, and death without suffering. Here, 由此圣解 ，OK， wait， 如说此目是目，而非实等。Sorry, just now answering a question, then sidetrack quite far. So come back. 由此圣解的神觉应可，即使有不同的差别见解，也不能令心什么牵引转动。So through this very thorough determination, and then verification. Even if 即使有不同的差别见解 even if there are others who have different opinions, will you be shaken? No. When you have verified to that point, 此目是目，而非实等。What is declared is what is declared. Then inside you are very certain. Someone come and tell you something else? No. For us, when we are not enlightened, when someone come and tell us, no lah, who says like that? Oh, we get upset. No, but actually we are not so certain also. So usually we respond with a lot of emotion. And in fact, the emotions is very telling. It shows how uncertain we are also. For example, Wilson, if someone come and tell you, if someone called you and said, hey, Tommy. Someone called you and said, hey, Tommy. You're like, what are you talking? Tommy. What would be your response? Not call you, meet you in the street, and then, hey, Tommy. Then what is your response? Maybe a bit of a surprise, but the person said, what? Hey, how are you, Tommy? What is your response? Yeah, Guan, but I know you. We're best friends, man. For me, come on. University, until now, come on. Hey. How have you been?
I don't know how to answer.
Okay, next example. Wait, so you will start to
I will doubt myself.
you start to doubt whether you're Tommy or
How deep are you?
yeah, you don't remember? You went to university together, you stay in block 55, you forgot you're on the 4th floor, 1037, cannot remember? My goodness, what happened to you? You told me! No, this is a crazy example. Now, if anybody were to just somehow say that you are somebody else, how would you respond? You just say no. Yeah, you got the wrong person. Would you have doubt maybe for him? You have doubt. My goodness. The one time I take him as an example, then yeah. In one of the, I may have mentioned this sutta before, but I highlighted a different part. In the Simsapa Sutta, oh no, sorry, wrong sutta. Susima Sutta. You go and search Susima Sutta. I think it is either Majjhima, if not Samyutta, one of them. Majjhima Nikaya or Samyutta Nikaya. So in this sutta, Venerable Susima is from another school. Yeah? And from this school, at some point, the Buddha and his disciples became very popular. A lot of supporters, yeah, give them food, give them toothpaste, toothbrush, no toothpaste, toothbrush. Give them a lot of support. And lay people is very simple. I get teachings and I benefit, I support you. This other group, okay, don't give you. So a lot of the other schools became very malnourished, so to speak, yeah, under-supported. Yeah, it was hard to make a living already, 混不下去, yeah. Because in those days, the ascetics all go on alms round. Yeah, not just Buddhist monks. The non-Buddhist ascetics, they also go on alms round. So what happened? They didn't get enough support and they decided, hey, I think let's send someone to infiltrate the Gautama ascetics Sangha. Go and learn how they put on their robes, learn a bit of their teaching, learn how they behave, and then you come back and teach us. Then we can act like Buddhist monks. Then when we go out on alms round, wow, a lot of people give us support. So Susima, Venerable Susima was chosen because he was the wisest. He went in, learned the teachings, and after a rains retreat, he observed how many people declare to the Buddha, what has been done, what has to be done has been done. There's no further becoming, the holy life has been lived. This is a standard formula to tell the Buddha, as far as I'm concerned, I have attained Arahanthood. Wow, so he was so amazed. Wow, after 3 months, so many of them attained Arahanthood. So he was curious. Although he was there to just infiltrate and learn and act and come back, right? But he was someone who is wise. So when he saw this, he was curious. So he went to ask this Arahant's question. When the Arahants explained to him, he couldn't understand. Then he asked again, and they explained, and they still could. After the Arahants find that he cannot understand, you know what the Arahant said? Whether you understand or don't understand or accept or not, it is just like that, and they walk off. Never argue also. Yeah? It's like if someone were to tell Wilson, Tommy! Yeah, the right thing to do is, well, I'm not Tommy. I'm not Tommy. You don't need to be enlightened to know who you are, right? Yeah, but wow, that is a lion's roar. Huh? Don't make a lion's roar. That is a declaration of spiritual attainment. 见山不是山. Wow, not easy to reach that stage. Yeah. So, when you have affirmed to that degree, then what happened? 由此圣洁的深觉认可 yeah, through this thorough determination and affirmation, 即使有不同的差别见解 even if there are others with different understanding, different opinions about the subject matter, yeah, 也不能令心牵引转动 cannot cause you to be swayed, in other words, yeah, or just because someone disagree, then you start to wonder, hey, is it true or not? Yeah, your whole life you learn about how we are driven by our craving, not by other forces, that we are not created by God. Or then you encounter someone who disagree with you. No, it's created by some supreme being. How do you know? Of course, there are 10,000 people every time going to my place. Or then you think, hey, Guan San also not every week have 10,000, you know. Wow, is it true or not? Yeah? Do you have this doubt? Yeah. If you are a person who is easily swayed, then it means that you have not reached this stage. You have not reached this stage as far as the teaching is concerned. This is why I strongly highlight, regardless of your lineage, regardless of the tradition you follow, regardless of the kind of practices that you have affinity towards, it's okay. It's fine. But regardless of your practices, you must learn enough teachings and through your practice, verify. Because until you verify, you may have faith, but it's not this kind of faith. It's not. Whether it's blind faith or not, I don't want to comment. Okay? But it's definitely not this kind of faith. This kind of faith, it must be through your verification. And verification of what? Verification of what the Buddha taught. If you just verify, someone saw a nice rainbow in the sky, then you have faith in that, no? But how is that related to the teachings? When people, give you an example, right? Have you all seen those pictures in various centers? I don't say Komensan, but in various centers, sometimes when there's a major puja, then they see light in the sky, they take a picture, yeah, in China, in Singapore, in various countries, right? Have you seen before? Don't quote me, maybe have to turn off the recorder. But factually, there are 以事论事. If you just see a photo, or you hear people say about it, you may say, don't know true or not. But if one day you then you go, really got a lot of light, then you have very strong confidence and faith. Is that good? Hard to say. You have a lot of faith in that cloud, in that color in the sky. But do you think people, when they try to attack your Buddhist teaching, they will bother about the cloud in the sky or the color in the sky? They are not going to attack that. They are going to attack the teachings. They are going to attack the principles that we call Dharma. If you only have faith based on the color in the sky, yeah, you see on the ground, got lotus or what. But how is that linked to the Dharma? you still don't have faith in the Dharma. In actual fact, you only have inferred faith by reference. Because I see color in the sky, so Dharma must be true. It's still just faith, just like in a way blind inference. But because the link is so arbitrary, you see color in the sky, then there must be Dharma. You know, if I'm not a Buddhist and you tell me, wow, you see color in the sky, so I say, so what? How does that prove that Buddha is true? How does that prove that the Four Noble Truths is true? Well, then you kalang kabut. If you never have faith in this way, maybe you are still more certain, you know. You have faith in this way, people break it down, then you, That's why, not suggesting that everybody must drop your practice and do a particular practice. But whether you chant mantra, you recite sutra, you recite Buddha's name, or even if you meditate, or even if you attend Dharma classes, if you don't verify, you don't verify. And as long as you don't verify, then you don't have this supreme understanding. And without this supreme understanding, what will happen? When someone comes with an opposing view or opposing conclusion and is able to make a seemingly strong ground on it, then you'll be shaken. But if you have reached this level of understanding, supreme understanding, that you have thoroughly investigated, determined, and affirmed that it is the way it is, then 也不能令心牵引转动，令心对己被定肯定的事再升起疑惑。Yeah? With respect to what you have already affirmed and have certainty, to cause you to waver and have doubts. You cannot cause doubts to arise. Yes. Oh, you saw the cloud also, huh? Ever see, huh? And then? Okay. But did you verify the teachings? Yeah, so it's not stability, ma. You haven't verified the teachings, ma. No. It depends. How do you verify the teachings? That's the important thing. Let me repeat what you just said, okay? That you have attended classes, you have seen the clouds and color and whatnot, but you still don't have that. But you still have doubts, right? And you ask, does this equate to stubbornness and stupidity? I say not necessarily, yeah, because you never mention about this level of verification. If you have verified to this degree and somehow you just say, no, although I see wood is wood, not stone, but I still don't accept it's wood, then it's either stubbornness or stupidity. But you have not verified you didn't mention at least. But have you verified to this degree? Then it's not stubbornness or stupidity. Yeah, because you haven't seen it, so of course you still have doubts. That's normal. That's not stubbornness nor stupidity. The challenge is whether you refuse to go and verify. Whether you are, but refusal to verify can be due to slackness or laziness. May not be due to stubbornness or stupidity. Stupidity is if you try and try, still cannot verify. I still wouldn't call it stupidity, it's quite a strong word. It is that maybe your wholesome roots are not strong enough. Stupidity would be you try a wrong method and your teachers tell you don't try that method, and you still cannot understand. Then that's stupidity. But if you can understand but you insist on your own way, then that's stubbornness. So you can assess yourself and see which one are you. Okay? Wait, you confused later. Okay, Yeah, very good question. Is laziness due to our karma? When we say karma, usually we refer to our past karma. But I would say that laziness is in part and a huge part due to our present karma. Our karma means action. Due to our present action, we choose not to do it. Yeah, we must learn to take responsibility for our own refusal to practice and verify. Not blame our past life for it. Okay? Yes, Wilson.
So I don't understand the question. If I see Guan Yin in the clouds, so how do I verify?
No, I said verify, not that. Not verify the cloud. Who cares about the cloud?
Who cares about it? But if I see it, then how?
Even if I see Guan Yin Pusa, okay, to be honest, if I do see Guan Yin Pusa in the sky, I will ask, can you please explain emptiness for me?
You ask the cloud to explain.
No, if you see Guan Yin Pusa, you are saying
cloud, right? Let's say you really see a cloud in the image of Guan Yin Pusa.
in image, look like only.
Yeah.
Then I will not talk to the cloud. If it's just cloud, talk to cloud. I'm saying, yeah, so that, so it is,
on the chat group
yeah,
and all that,
it is, if you literally see Guan Yin Pusa, okay, first case, then I will still want to verify. Everybody take picture, I will say, Guan Yin Pusa, can you explain emptiness to me? If you cannot explain, then sorry, not Guan Yin Pusa. If he can take you just like that, he would have taken you. Why wait for you to ask? I mean, I'm not even Guan Yin Pusa, but I'm like, if I can take you, I will just like that. So if it's possible, he would have taken us. But I said, if it can be done, I will do it. But nobody can do that. Only teach you Dhamma. Cannot just want to take things. Otherwise, Buddha would have just taken everybody. Don't have to teach for 45 years. One time, okay, next line, come on, Venerable Sariputra, next, come on there, moving on, right? Okay, go, okay, next one, right?
It's a natural reaction if you see something.
I know it's a natural reaction, doesn't mean it's a right reaction. So, first case, really Guan Yin Pusa appear. That's how I will respond. I like to think lah, but who knows, maybe it really appeared that I also Guan Yin Pusa. Who knows, please take me. Sekali I even louder, hey, I wear rope. Who knows, but I hope. I keep reminding myself. Yeah, so, yeah, we'll see. If Guan Yin Pusa one day appear, then you see how Sifu respond. 太炸哦！他们，哎，师傅都不是。So, second scenario, if it's a cloud, I'm not going to talk to a cloud. I mean, people see a bird in a cloud, a dragon, yeah. I mean, it's fine. I mean, if you see something that looks like Guan Yin Pusa and you feel good, it's okay to feel good. I mean, it's okay. Sunset, you can feel good. Fine. Yeah, but I can assure you, a lot of those photos are all Photoshop, please. I assure you, a lot of them are Photoshop. A lot. Not all, okay? Not all. Qualify, not all, but a lot. The point is, even if it's really the cloud that somehow developed to look like Guan Yin Pusa, the point being, what is the point? What is the point? In the Dhamma Sutra, 凡所有相，皆是虚妄。若见诸相非相，即见如来。何况是一朵云？ Yeah. cloud, then you go and look, Yeah. Scientists have a name for it. I can't remember the scientific term. But human beings, we have a tendency to see faces in things that don't have a face. We have this tendency. Take for example, let me show you Guan Pusa. What is this? What is this?
2 dots.
How many of you see 2 dots? All of you should see 2 dots. What do you call these 2 dots? Mao Hao or colon. What do you see? What is this? A bracket, right? What do you see? Colon. What do you see?
Bracket.
Okay, let me try again. What do you see? What do you see?
Bracket.
If I remove my hand, what do you see? How many of you think that you'll see a smiley face? Come on, you all want to say smiley face? Raise your hand. How many of you will see a smiley face?
No.
Why not? Huh? Was it so obvious? Is this out of line?
No.
Slightly out of line. Now, this is totally out of line. You see, if you are not careful, before I even release, you already in your mind have a smiley face, you know. But it's really just these 2 symbols. We have a tendency to see faces that don't exist. A cloud is just a cloud. Already, it's just water vapor, and we give it a name cloud. Then on top of the cloud, you still give it another name, Guan Pusa. No, I wasn't referring to Sui Lu Fa Hui, please. Yeah, I'm referring to clouds. Please, for the records, I wasn't referring to any particular Sui Lu Fa Hui, okay? Yeah, I'm just referring to the general phenomena that we call clouds and colors in the sky. The important thing is, it's fine if after seeing some of these signs, you feel a welling of devotion and confidence. But you must ask yourself, how does seeing that link to the Dharma? Because in the end, when people challenge your religion, they're not going to challenge you about the cloud. Who cares about the cloud? They are not going to challenge that. They're going to challenge whether the Buddha is really enlightened. They're going to challenge whether enlightenment is possible. They're going to challenge the fact that they believe, not any particular religion, that the world is created by the divine being. Can you stand up to that? How does the color in the sky and clouds in the sky prove anything about what they say, or disprove for that matter? That is the crucial thing. But at the end of the day, we are not trying to disprove anyone as well. We are trying to learn the teachings and verify it, and through that verification, help us to see things as they truly are. At the end of the day, if you verify and you see that what the Buddha described is not true, please highlight to us. We will verify and we'll go through much scrutiny, and if it's true that what you observe and you confirm that what the Buddha said cannot be, is disproved, then we call for the 7th council. But if not, then it is said that through that verification, you will see things differently. You will see your life differently. You will see this world differently. How differently? To the extent where you will not be moved by what we are moved by today. not moved in a similar way anyway. You'll be moved by compassion instead, by love and compassion instead. You'll be moved through wisdom and not through greed, hatred and delusion. Not in that way. And to that extent, then you will have verified what the Buddha attained and experienced. And you would go through aging, sickness and death without suffering. You would have reached the deathless state, nirvana. Good night. 愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了，
普愿罪障悉消除，
普愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
起立。诸位至诚，礼佛行三问讯礼，一问讯，再问讯，三问讯。Till meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And as always, Guai Guai Mithu. Yes. There is a request for dedication. Minister Heng Swee Keat had just had a stroke during cabinet meeting. So let's dedicate to him. May he receive the blessings of the Triple Gem and have suitable medical attention and treatment and recover from the stroke swiftly. May he continue to serve the country and the people with clarity and wisdom and compassion. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Also dedication to one of the devotees